What's up guys, my name is Jack, you're watching JBTCG, and today we're talking about the investability of Shrouded Fable. And before you run to the comments and say, this set is garbage, it can't be invested in, it will never go up, let's take a look at the set from an unbiased point of view, and examine the set as a whole, and take a look at all the different products that are getting released with this set, to make an educated decision whether we should invest our money in this set, or just save your money for other things like the 151 reprint, the Glory of Team Rocket, Terrestrial Festival, and the other big sets that are coming up. To start, we're going to look at the most expensive cards in the set and see how they fared in the first week post-release. Well, off rip, our top chase card, we have Cassiopeia, which has absolutely fallen. I believe at one point in pre-release pricing, this card was above $200, and now it's below $100. If you look at the TCG player graph, this thing is in an absolute free fall. Do I think it's a good card? Yeah, the art's pretty nice. But I definitely agree with the market that it was mispriced, and I think this is going to end up being like a $40 to $50 card max. The next highest card in this set is the Pheasantipede EX. This card started around $90 and has since dropped to around $70. I think the art in this card is actually really cool. I really like the colors and the chains, but at the same time, I still think $70 is too high. I think this card will also come down and be in the 30s to 40s. Especially when you compare it to pricing for cards from 151, where amazing SARs like Blastoise, Venusaur, and Zapdos. I think this card is cool, but I don't think it should be valued quite as high as those. Next, we have the Earthen Vessel Gold card, which I don't think is something that will matter for investing long term. I think without a doubt the price will drop, but I can't pretend that I'm an expert on hyper rare item cards, so I have no real idea where this will land. Unfortunately, beyond this, the SIRs in this set hold really low values, especially for first week pricing. The Okidogi and Monkey Dory are $37 and $29 respectively, and the Pecharunt is sitting at $28. So overall, examining the SIR cards from this set and the absolute freefall they've had in this first week, I don't find them to be very strong. This set just doesn't have the equivalent of the Greninja from Twilight Masquerade or the Charizard from Paldean Fates. It's really missing that allure and that draw to open more and more packs chasing that top hit. So overall, if I were to rate the SIRs on a scale from 1 to 10 compared to the other Scarlet and Violet sets, I think we're sitting at about a 3 or 4 out of 10. Some creative artwork, but I think we're just missing the mark. Now, before we talk about investability of certain products, let's quickly talk about the illustration rares. For all the hate that this set is getting, I think the illustration rares are really where it shines, and I'll go through them from most expensive to least expensive. At number 1, we have the Persian at $34. This is a really cool piece of artwork, and it pairs really nicely with the Giovanni's Charisma from 151. Up next, we have the Houndoom at $25. This is my personal favorite card from this set. The black and white color scheme, the movement, the glowing red eye, and the light trail that comes from it. Everything about this card is sick, and I already love Houndoom, so if I were to open Shrouded Fable and chase for a card, this would be it. Up next at $24, we have the Dusknoir. This is an absolutely terrifying card. And actually right now, we'll go over the whole line. The Duskull is at $22 and the Dusclops is at $16. I've said this before, but I really like how it slowly gets closer and closer and closer to you in the card. And it feels way more personal and creepy when you get to the Dusknoir, especially since you started out on the sidewalk in public, moved to being watched from your backyard, and finally you're being watched in your own house. A really creative way to draw the whole line together, and honestly, I love all of them. 10 out of 10, no notes. Up next, we have the Monkey Dory card at $18. This card is beautiful. Really nice art. The blues, the pinks, they go together amazingly. But unfortunately, the Monkey Dory just sitting there like a thumb looks almost out of place. But I must say, for a Monkey Dory card, I don't think you can get much better than this. Next up at $15, we have the Horsey. I don't think this card will hold this $15 price tag. This will probably end up being like a $5 to $6 illustration rare, but it's a cute little card. I just kind of wish it had more Pokemon in the background as kind of an Easter egg or something like that, but it's not inherently bad in any way. Up next, we have the Angelic Cresselia card sitting at $14. I don't even know what's really happening in this card, and maybe they made it to be kind of like a dream space, which if that was the intention, they did a great job, but overall, really good card. Up next at $10, we have the adorable Zorua card. I'm really surprised this one didn't come out of the gate much stronger. I don't understand why it didn't get the same treatment that Eevee got. I mean, I understand the Eevee card from Twilight Masquerade is much cuter than this and you get a bajillion of them in the card, but I don't know, I feel like $10 for this Zorua card is pretty low. Up next at $8, we have this Okidogi card that's absolutely rampaging through the land. This card looks insane, and the little pink from the chains really stands out and gives it some pop. I honestly find this card to be better than the special illustration rare version. Next, we have the Q font at $8, an adorable card, but I don't have much else to say about it. And up next, this card has me so confused as to why its price is this low. At $8, we have the Pheasantipity illustration rare. I don't even really know what to say. I don't understand why this card is as cheap as it is, especially when you compare it to other cards like the Horsey, which is double the price. I don't know, might just be me, but I think $7 to $8 for this card is an absolute steal. Next, we have the Fracture at $7. This is really cute. I like Fracture. I wish there was a Haxorus card, but I'm glad Fracture is getting some love. Second to last, we have the Beware card, which I think is kind of hilarious. I really like how they did this card. It's kind of hard to make Beware seem menacing in any way because he's just a big, stuffed animal. But having him block out the sun and look as gigantic as he does in this card really sells it. I don't think I'm going to go out and buy this card or rip packs until I open it, but I can respect a solid card when I see one. And finally, our last illustration rare is Tapu Bulu, sitting around $3. The art on this one's super cool. I just don't really get why they just threw Tapu Bulu in. They didn't throw any of the other Tapus in. It has no real cohesion with the set, and I assume that's why it's as cheap as it is. So overall, my thoughts on the illustration rares of this set and the investability of it. Well, I think it has a really strong band of illustration rares. Some great artwork, super unique cards, and some pretty strong pricing and values of these cards out of the gate. The way I feel about the illustration rares is kind of the inverse of how I feel about the special illustration rares from the set, where I imagine pretty much all these special illustration rares across the board are going to drop another 40 to 50%. I think some of these illustration rares are going to hold pretty strong, and even some others like the Pheasantipity I think have a chance to go up. So if we look at this set kind of more as a whole and the investability of the entire thing, I think the illustration rares bring it up to around a 5 out of 10. They're super solid overall, but they can't carry a set. For a set to be good, the illustration rares and the special illustration rares have to both hit. And while the illustration rares hit like Mike Tyson, the special illustration rares are kind of like Jake Paul. Okay, so I think the investability of this set is mid, but let's look at different products and gauge whether some of these might be better investments than others. Well, let's start with the gold standard, the ETB. Out of the gate, this thing isn't holding very much value. You can pre-order these for around $36 a box. Pre-release and pre-order for ETBs being this low is just not that good. I think we'll see these ETBs be below $30 at some point in the next year, which is something I don't think I could say about any other special set from the past year and a half. Next up, we have booster bundles. I generally find these to be pretty good investments when it comes to special sets because you get no fluff, just 6 packs and a little bit of packaging. But I only find them to be good investments if the actual set is good. These booster bundles have no promo cards to rely on, nothing that could beef up the value of the product outside of the actual packs inside. So unfortunately, I don't think these are a great pickup. Next up, we have mini tins and mini tin displays. I somewhat like these as investments because they're not super reliant on having super good outer packaging and the shrink wrap seal being absolutely perfect, because most people don't use these as display products kind of in the way that they do for ETBs, where you collect a bunch of ETBs and you put them on a shelf and they look really nice. People don't really do that for mini tin displays. Now at the same time, while this means that you don't have to keep these in perfect pristine condition and take super good care of them, it also means that they lack that investability factor that ETBs have, where you're not only investing in them for the packs inside, you're also investing in them for the artwork that they have on the front panel. So unfortunately, just like the booster bundles, I find these mini tins to be a lukewarm investment at best. Alright, I've made you wait long enough. If you stuck with me through this whole video, I really appreciate it. But now we're on to the collection boxes. First up, the King Gambit. So we already know what my opinions are on the set and the actual packs, so we're just going to talk about the actual promo cards in this. For this collection box, you get the full evolution line from Poniard to King Gambit. I think this is a super cool line, and I really like the King Gambit card. I think this is a promo card that will hold a value of maybe $2 to $5. It's nothing crazy, but it definitely helps the value of the collection box. I think compared to things like the booster bundles and mini tins, I like these a little better, but I still don't think they're amazing pickups. Now onto the Kingdra and Greninja collection boxes. These are some of the greatest promo cards we've ever gotten. These cards are beyond insane, and if they were actually in the set as special illustration rare cards, these would be 100 to 200, maybe even more, easily. These cards are so unique, and the way the light hits them and they shine when you hold them in person cannot be understated. My only issue with these cards is why do they have them for Shrouded Fable? They don't really go with the set at all. The general theme for this set was very dark cards, ghostly, scary cards, and then you just have these incredibly bright promo cards. I think these would fit so much better in the upcoming Stellar Crown set. But either way, we have them now, and I think actually investing in the collection boxes with the Kingdra and Greninja EX promos aren't bad plays. So out of every single product released for this set, I think these are the best products to invest in, but I still don't think that they're awesome. Now it comes to the argument of, is it worth it to spend your money on this or save it for some sets in the future? Well, in my opinion, I'd rather save my money for the upcoming sets and reprints. Stellar Crown looks like a really good set, and every single new illustration rare that they reveal looks awesome. Leaks of a new Eevee set, Terrestrial Festival, also sounds so much better than Shrouded Fable. A 151 reprint rumored to come this fall, and the glory of Team Rocket, which is likely to come in early 2025, all in my opinion clear Shrouded Fable. So where does that leave the investability of Shrouded Fable? Well, I think this set is going to be forgotten. There are too many things happening way too quick in the Pokemon TCG, and the fact that the Shrouded Fable release kind of backs right up to Stellar Crown, which I think is an arguably better set, which means that Shrouded Fable is going to be overshadowed likely for the next 6 months easily. Now maybe because of this, they don't do a reprint and it becomes very scarce to get Shrouded Fable products, but I still don't think that makes it an awesome investment. Overall, I'm going to be buying some Greninja and Kingdra EX boxes, and maybe one ETB for display, but that is about it for this set. I'm saving my money up for the insane things that are slated to release in the next 6 months. Let me know what your guys' plans are for investing in the comments, and whether or not you're going to rip some packs of Shrouded Fable. Either way, we're making a lot of headway to 1,000 subscribers, so if you aren't subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you did. That's all I got for today, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and stay safe out there.